Okay, I'm going to call this video Lee Trevino's Master Move, or Secret Move, or something like that. So, anyway, Lee Trevino had some, he obviously had a motion and some positions he hit that was, especially in his time period, sort of unique to him. And he also had, the recorded, not just the reputation, but data showed that he was substantially more accurate than anybody else that played in his era. So here's my theory as to why that was. If you look at Lee Trevino, if you look at a typical golfer down the line, you'll see your sort of average golfer is going to rotate a little bit too flat, and then your better golfer is going to rotate more with their shoulders in plane with the ball. But what Lee Trevino, if you looked at him through the ball, his shoulder plane was about almost vertical. So why would that be more potentially accurate? Here's what my theory is. So if you think about rotating this way, if you rotate flat, but if I rotate flat and don't change anything, my club isn't really rotating at all, right? So if I could make that shoulder plane then vertical, if I could somehow take this plane and move through the ball that way, you can see that there wouldn't be any face rotation. But what happens in a swing, because we're between two planes, you get this kind of action. So what he did is he got his shoulders, so I'll show you how to do it instead of explaining what he was doing. So get yourself a square line like this, and you can just set your club on that line, and imagine that this area right here is your impact zone. The ball is right, say, in the middle of this area where you're going to move through in a really square way. So just set your club down. You want to be somewhat low to do this, and then rotate in such a way that your club just drags straight along that line. So you won't actually have no movement. You'll have still a slight arc, but you're going to radically reduce the amount of arc in your swing when you do this, and also reduce face rotation. So just drag that along. You can see that my shoulder and my body is rotating and moving, but you don't really have to think about that. You just have to think about the task here of dragging that club straight through like that. Now, get your ball in position. We'll do one more practice. That's my move through the ball. Move through the ball, and now we're going to hit the ball, but we're still going to have that feel of dragging the club straight through like that. So you'll notice that in order to do that, I have to get my shoulders in that very vertical position, and I have to move in a very particular way, and so the club doesn't release in this sense. So in my own swing, I've gone back and forth because you can produce a lot of power this way as well, and you can produce a lot of power with vertical motion, but you can also produce a fair amount of power this way without rotating your face very much. So I'll see what I can do with a full swing, but again, it's really get the feel and do it small. Get the feel of moving through the ball that way. I'll do one more sort of smaller one. Didn't seem to catch that one. Do one more sort of medium-sized swing here. You can see that it just wants to pretty much go straight. And now I'll see, I'm not sure, I haven't been swinging this way, so I'm not sure how much speed I'll put on it, but hitting a 9-iron here. So even that would be fine. I can play 100, I can play 130-yard 9-iron. Let's give it a little more flow here. A little more full body motion. But just really concentrating on how I'm moving through the ball here. Maybe a fraction right on that one. No, not actually. So, interesting. Okay. So building it up, I would like to be able to get to 140 here with this move. This is really pretty intriguing for me, actually, that those are 3 really controlled shots. Really thinking about how I'm getting through the ball here. If you're Lee Trevino, he set up a little open, which gives you more access for this, basically, for this move. So I want to try setting up a little open. The ball should be back in your stance, especially relative to if you think of your center of your stance is the middle of your feet, then it's quite a bit back, but it's not super far back in terms of where your body position is. So I'll try one more nice open stance, move through the ball that way. And that one I lost a little bit. So you can see, okay, terrible one. That's just barely offline. Alright, I'm going to try one more, see if I can hit my best one, and then I'll call it a day. Again, practice my moves. I'm really thinking through the ball like that. That one I liked. That one was good. There, so that there now 143. That's pretty good 9-9 for me. So give it a try. Especially if you have a lot of uncontrolled shape and dispersion and that kind of thing. It's just really, it'll feel very different. But once you get the feeling of you're just concentrating on how you move through the ball like that, you can build your swing bigger and bigger around that too. And then still work on your sequencing, so you can still do all of your normal sequencing with that. But if you're working on that move, you're actually creating, instead of a plane that's more rotational around your body, if you want to work with your trainer on this, it's a much closer to a vertical plane actually with your trainer. So practice almost a vertical feeling plane like this. Then go back to it. You've got that very vertical plane. And get my moves with my trainer. And we got some more good sequencing on that one. That's another good shot. So even a little bit longer there with slightly better sequencing of my body.